you know, going really fast, that is going to irritate and tear up your skin so much. Hi and welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Sonia, and today I want to talk all about underarm care, things you need to know, things you need to avoid. I do talk a bit about my underarm care here and there. I definitely do find it to be one thing that a lot of my community knows me for, and I figured since I've talked about it bits and pieces here and there, I might as well do a full video with everything that I have mentioned prior about underarm care. Of course, I have my iPad. I'm going to go over 5 different topics: maintenance, shaving, deodorants, treatment and texture, and detox and health. And as always, all of my short form overlays that go hand in hand with anything that I'm discussing or that will give you a better visual description of what I'm explaining will be put on the screen. For all other short form content, I am Zonia on all platforms, and I'm active on all of my accounts every day, and I do respond to all comments and messages, so never hesitate reaching out. But as I always say, I'm not one for long intros, so let's get right into this video. So the first thing I want to go over is maintenance. So this can apply to the products you use in and out of the shower on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, how often you're doing certain parts of your routine. One thing I get a lot of questions on is why I moisturize my underarms, why I apply lotions there, why do I apply oils there. The skin on your underarms is very, very thin, so it needs moisture for it to stay healthy, clear in color, even in tone, and just generally smooth and not dry. All of the negative effects that come out of not keeping the area moisturized are going to lead to odor, discoloration, discomfort, razor bumps, ingrowns, just a number of things. And I feel like it really is simple to just apply a lotion or even a body butter onto your underarms every single day. After you shower, just treat it like the rest of your body. And one common question with this is my deodorant still gonna work with the moisturizer underneath? Yes, as long as you allow it to air dry to where you're not kind of like mixing them together while they're both moist, it will work just fine. And don't be too worried about using a lotion with a fragrance. Honestly, for some that might actually irritate the area. If you are going to start applying lotion on your underarms, which I definitely think you should, go for an unfragranced, unscented, sensitive skin, lightweight lotion. Now, if you're worried about bacteria down there, if you struggle with odor, body acne, or anything like that, definitely make sure to use a pH balanced wash in the shower when you're cleaning your underarms, or just something that's completely unfragranced with really, really minimal chemicals and ingredients. With it being such a thin, delicate area, it is also very prone to breakouts and is much more sensitive than the rest of your body would be. Also, be cautious with certain deodorants that you use. There are some deodorants that leave a really, really thick layer, or like the gel deodorants can sometimes leave thick residue on your underarms. Whenever you are showering in the evening, you do want to leave your underarms the opportunity to breathe overnight. So make sure that in the shower you're thoroughly cleansing all of that old deodorant off. And as you should with the rest of your body, try to avoid keeping really tight clothes on in that area for extended amounts of time or every day. A good example of this are like those really tight workout shirts. Like personally, when I go to the gym, I always wear long sleeves, and I wear like those really tight jackets. Once my workout is over with, I try to take that off as fast as possible, just to again allow room for your underarms to breathe a bit and to not trap in that sweat, odor, any bacteria that you may have picked up when wearing those tight clothes, because all it's doing is kind of pushing it and allowing it to sit there. And that damp environment can grow the bacteria that leads to odor, acne, a million other things really that you just want to avoid completely. Next up, I have shaving. Now, I also do talk a lot about shaving, and one thing I always mention is that the best way to avoid ingrowns, trapped hair follicles, or just missing spots is by shaving the direction which your hair grows. For some, your hair will grow all in one direction, but in some cases, underarm hair can grow in like a swirl. So some people will have to go like up, down, side, side. This is entirely a matter of you figuring out where your hair grows and what direction you need to shave in. And I always say it's much better to do really gentle yet still like lightly pressured passes that are slow and covering the whole area than just going really fast. Like whenever I've seen someone express that they shave kind of just like going really fast, that is going to irritate and tear up your skin so much because it's too much friction, especially for an area that thin. So I always say just be really slow, add some light pressure, make sure that the razor is firm on the skin, but make sure that you're going in the direction where the hair grows, not against it. If you're able to, it's also good to kind of like try to stretch the skin a little bit, even if you have to stretch your arm really far back, just to make the skin really tight so that you're just getting the hair, not getting any like skin caught in the razor. That's also really important because cuts in your underarm can sting really bad. When you go to apply products there, or even sweat, when sweat passes through there, it will irritate the skin really bad. You can get like little bumps and rashes, which you definitely don't want on your underarms. And lastly, when it comes to shaving, I always mention, of course, exfoliating before shaving with something to help the razor slip, and moisturizing after. Now, when I moisturize after shaving, I do use aloe instead of the lotion, just to bring some cooling to the area, but I also do wait a little bit in the shower and out of the shower. You don't want to shave and then get right out the shower and go straight to putting products on, because that will irritate your skin. Those pores are still open, and when you irritate open pores in the skin, obviously in the moment they will get inflamed, it'll be uncomfortable, it'll be burning, but also you will get marks and bumps, and those bumps eventually will become discolored to where you'll have like the dark underarms that I'm sure we're all trying to avoid. Okay, next up I have deodorants. One of the most important products for your underarms, of course, is deodorant. And I talked about this in so many videos at this point, where knowing the deodorant that works best for you, your skin goals, your skin concerns, any conditions you have, anything you need help with, or just in general being aware of what products irritate you, all those factors are really important when finding your deodorant. These are the two deodorants that I use. Degree Black and White is my daytime deodorant for freshness, keeping away any odor, or just keeping the area fresh and clean. Then this is my Herbal deodorant by House of Balance. I use this at nighttime. It's a thin liquid deodorant, so it's not going to do the most for deodorizing. It'll really just neutralize the odor in the area. But with this being a thin, lightweight deodorant, I also have this dedicated to being worn overnight, since it'll still give room in my underarms for them to breathe and not be super clogged with a thicker deodorant. Deodorants like this are more like balms, so they're very thick. It's like a very thick layer on your underarms. Now, if you want to use antiperspirants, I would say dedicate this to the daytime, since these absorb better on bone dry skin than skin that's moisturized. It won't really pass through properly or be effective at all for your underarms. But when using actual heavy deodorants, whether they're roll-on liquid deodorants or deodorants that you really want to last long, that damp skin underneath is going to be really good at keeping longevity in the scent and in the strength of your deodorants. Now, if you're struggling with body odor a lot, or anything in that realm to where you need a clinical deodorant, these are better overnight. Deodorants like that are more effective when they have time to sit on the skin and they have more time on your skin. Those deodorants aren't really going to be effective if you're putting it on and then sweating it out, showering and taking it immediately off. These deodorants work better when they're on the skin for some time. So if you do want to start using clinical deodorants, definitely apply those at night and wear them overnight until the next day, morning, whenever you take your next shower. Next, we have a treatment and texture. So if you're dealing with ingrowns, razor bumps, KP, any form of texture, or just any sort of condition or concern on your skin that you need to be treating, you're going to need to start implementing chemical exfoliation into your routine. These can be AHAs or BHAs. You can use salicylic acid, glycolic acid, any of those sort of exfoliants. Granted, at most you always are supposed to use these 2 to 3 times a week. Anything more is over exfoliating, and I would say that keeping that limit is especially crucial on an area as thin, sensitive, and delicate as your underarms. But those 2 to 3 days a week, you need to be using some sort of chemical exfoliant. Not only is it going to help your skin recover and re-smoothen from, let's say, KP or razor bumps or ingrowns, it'll also build the skin up to prevent that happening to you again in the future. But like everything when it comes to skin, you have to be consistent and patient, because your skin will take time to adapt to the product or chemical and show the results, show the effects, change, improve, strengthen itself. That all those things take time. So don't think to start using them and if you don't see results in the first week or two, you just drop it. no, don't do that. And I would say the exact same thing when it comes to hyperpigmentation or darkness, except instead of using chemical exfoliants, here you're gonna want to use brightening serums, vitamin C, glutathione, niacinamide, in the same way that I just expressed using chemical exfoliants for textured issues and more bumpy skin that you want to smoothen and refine. When it comes to skin that you want to brighten, get rid of dark spots, get rid of hyperpigmentation, get rid of that shadow, you're going to do the same exact thing, but instead of with those products, you're going to use brightening products. Again, my top 3 are always vitamin C, glutathione, and niacinamide. And with anything regarding your underarms, whether it's any of those forms of treatments, after shaving, anything, moisture is going to be so important at keeping the skin barrier there intact and strong. Again, you can use anything that your body functions with. If you can use a body butter down there, use a body butter. If you can use a cream, use a cream. If you have to stick to a lightweight lotion that's unscented, do that. Whatever works for you, just make sure that you're keeping moisture and hydration active in that area. And lastly, I have detox and health. Now, I mentioned this before in previous videos. Never use deodorants or lotions, creams, anything to mask odors in your underarms. If you're dealing with bacteria, acne, excess oil, or odor, antibacterial bar soap. That needs to be the main priority in your routines. You need to be using that every single day, since it's the most basic, I wouldn't say natural, but natural to the skin thing that you can do to start washing away all the bacteria that's causing all of those issues, or the excess oil that's making the bacteria grow and sustain itself. But there are also various other things that you can do. You can use charcoal mask, you can use turmeric mask, you can use clay mask to kind of detox, or what's the word, like I can't think of the word, but like refresh, reset, like kind of peel off dead skin from that area. It's not very likely that it'll build up too much, but again, everyone's skin is different. There may be a chance that someone does have an issue like that. So whatever you need to do to keep the area cleansed, detoxed, and pure, you need to be doing consistently. Then another thing that a lot of people don't know is when it comes to the drainage of your body, which pretty much revolves around keeping your body from being puffy, depuffing your skin, depuffing, waterway, things like that. The most natural way to do this is by doing gentle massages and movements in lymphatic drainage to drain out areas that can be inflamed or puffy in your body. One of the main roots, or should I say bases, of your lymphatic drainage system is in your underarms. Hence why before gua shaing, a lot of people will kind of massage your underarms. It opens up your lymphatic drainage system and allows room for you to push and drain the inflammation or excess fluid or whatever it may be out of your body. So that's another important little thing to know. And again, always keep in mind the clothing that you wear can affect the health and the odor that you produce throughout the day. Again, if you know you have an issue with sweating, odor, bacteria, oily skin, try to avoid wearing tight clothes as much as possible, because all you're doing is allowing a damp environment for all those properties to grow, sustain themselves, get worse, get stronger, spread to other parts of your body. Or if you know that you're allergic to certain types of materials or certain types of textures make you itch or irritate your skin, obviously putting them on an area as sensitive and delicate as your underarms is going to make you much more prone to a rash, bumps, or just any other form of irritation that will be horrible in the moment and can lead to dark spots and marks later in the future. And while that's everything that I have written out on my iPad in the notes for this video, I'm gonna go over a few just good things to know about underarm care. When it comes to hair removal, granted, I only shave. I've never done any other form of hair removal, so all I know is shaving. That's all I do. But with whatever form of hair removal you choose to do for your underarms, you need to be really consistent in a set schedule. Personally, I shave weekly on Fridays. It's very rare that I jump out of that schedule. Every single Friday I will shave. If you want to do it twice a week, if your hair doesn't grow that fast and you can go for once a month, just pick a set day and try to stay really stuck to that schedule so that your skin isn't overwhelmed or it's not constantly having to adjust itself to friction that is just happening sporadically. You want your skin to be as calm as possible at all times so that it doesn't get irritated when you do things to contact it. Keeping a set schedule with your hair removal is really important for that. Even with something like waxing or laser hair removal, any form of hair removal is pressure, friction, and somewhat of an irritation to the skin because it's not natural to the skin. You're doing something with pressure onto the skin. So making sure that you're doing that routinely to not shock your skin and kind of give your skin barrier and your skin itself, your pores, hair follicles, time to recover and re-prepare themselves for the next time they're going to do this is very, very important. Another thing that I mention all the time, but I don't think I'll ever stop saying, is make sure that you're choosing deodorants that work for you. If you don't have problems with odor, don't buy a deodorant that's promoting odor control. If you don't have problems with sweating, don't buy a deodorant that's promoting sweat control or sweat resistance. Products like that include extra chemicals and additives that are made specifically to combat those issues. So if you don't have those issues, you're going to put on a product with extra chemicals that your skin doesn't need, that are foreign to your skin, that are unnatural. All it's going to do is irritate you, give you chemical rashes, chemical burns, unnecessary reactions that you don't benefit from at all anyway. Another very crucial thing to know, do not share anything that goes in your underarms. Deodorants, creams, razors, nothing. There should not be a single thing that can touch your underarm and someone else's underarms ever. There is a pH balance in that part of the skin. You're clashing your pH with someone else, that can damage both of you. Everyone's skin has different chemicals, different oils, different bacterias. You don't want anyone else's body or skin or their natural oils to irritate or combine with yours, because honestly, nothing good ever comes out of that. Please do not be misguided or coerced into sharing deodorants. And that's the biggest one I see most commonly that you need to avoid. But also, please avoid sharing razors, creams, anything of the sort. After the gym and working out, if you know it's going to be a little bit of time before you can get into the shower to clean your underarms and freshen up, please bring napkins with you. A towel would work, but I'm not the biggest fan. But you can use a towel, rag, napkins. Just try to keep that area dry after sweating. You don't want that sweat to sit there. There are oils and chemicals in that sweat that cause new bacteria, bring redness, and just irritate and inflame the skin. So if you don't have time to get to a shower, that's fine. Just use something to dry the area. Now, if you struggle a lot with sweating and with odor, body acne, there are salicylic acid pads that you can buy that you can use to wipe that area after sweating, just to avoid any possible irritation. Some skin is much more sensitive than others, and honestly, majority of the time when you're dealing with a skin concern or condition like body acne or odor, your skin is much more sensitive and prone because your skin barrier is already kind of being attacked. So keeping those salicylic acid pads are important. Hypochlorous acid can work, but it may not be as strong for someone that has something like odor or body acne. If you don't have anything, just sensitive skin, you want to avoid any type of irritation, you can do hypochlorous acid. If not, those salicylic acid pads are going to work really well. And of course, this should be a natural intake with any part of your body, but don't touch your underarms with dirty hands or let any dirty surfaces, products, or anything, textures even, touch your underarms when they're not clean. Again, very sensitive, delicate, and thin area, much more prone to inflammation and irritation than any other part of your body. And that is going to be everything for today's video. I try to keep this one short, simple, straight to the point, so I can get through as many tips as possible and answer as many questions that I can remember and have written down. But of course, if you have any further questions or any other advice or tips, you can always comment down below. And of course, if you don't want to publicly comment, that's totally fine. You can always message me on any of my platforms. I will respond and I don't judge at all, ever. And if you have any other videos you want to see, any other questions you have, I do try to get through video recommendations as fast as possible, but I do have quite a list, so it was taking me some time to get to your request. Just give me a second. But again, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video and gain something from it, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed yet but you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. I am Jemilah Zonia on all platforms, and I am active on all of my accounts every single day. So definitely join my community if you see that you can gain some sort of knowledge or help from my accounts. I am really, really happy with everyone that I've been able to help, guide, and just teach little things to. And I'm so happy and thankful for everyone that I do have here with me. And of course, if you made it this far into the video, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.